If you are logging into my team today, this is what matters. Welcome back, folks. Happy Monday. They did give us some new challenges. We have results from King of the Court, plus season 3 is coming really kind of quickly to a close here. So let's dive right in and see what's important. As usual, knock out your daily challenges. The new Winter Festival challenge will give us a good opportunity to do just that. You can see I've already started that process. Exhibitions, we do them every day. I know they're a little bit out of the way down there at the bottom, but go ahead and knock them out. It's free rewards. Season 3 tab, nothing new. I was kind of hoping they might give us something fun here, but not today, maybe tomorrow. Still finish your jumpstart. Those amethysts should be a lot cheaper now, so try to get your hands on a jumpstart player free Hall of Fame badge. These mini spotlights will go away at the end of the season, so if you're chasing either one of these two cards, make sure to prioritize that. These season 3 rewards, I haven't actually talked about these, but you get these players from the season pass and you just have to do certain stats. It does help you boost your rep. I would recommend getting that done. It also expires at the end of the season. And of course, these top two are more your long season grind. Just finish up anyone you're close to. Like I was at 74 wins or something right around there, and at 75 you do get a Hall of Fame badge. So I made sure to take care of that. Not sure if I'll, make a point to grind to 100. I'll probably play a few over the next few days just to, through challenges. But like clutch time, I'm not going to get 30 clutch time games done just for one Hall of Fame badge. That's where you get in a challenge like this, where it's just one game for a Hall of Fame badge compared to 30 for a, Hall of Fame badge in this clutch time challenge. That's the kind of mindset where I'm thinking like any of these free or not free, but easy Hall of Fame badge, we want to snatch those right up because you can see, they're making you play 75 clutch time games to get a Hall of Fame badge. So anytime you see challenges, analyze their value. Is the juice worth the squeeze? We're always asking ourselves just that. Weekly challenges, nothing new. Look at this timer, it's actually longer than the new season. So some challenges don't go away at the end of the season. Just watch that timer really closely. It's gonna be Friday morning. So whatever Friday morning is, that's when the new season starts, but things like this are expiring a little bit before, things like this are expiring a little bit after. They're being nice and giving us a clock. So anything you're prioritizing, just watch the clock, try to get it done. I still recommend doing all of these, even just to fill out your collection. It's, a fun thing to grind. For Winter Festival, I was able to get the ones from yesterday done. It was a pretty easy, what was it, like De'Aaron Fox stats. The last couple ones were kind of easy, this Fox and Durant. So prioritize the easier ones and the more valuable ones. Keep lining up what you're aiming for. We have about 4 days now, so you should be, honing in on what you're able to get. I am making a final push, and I think I'll get there. Thank you to the Park Streak yesterday, which we were able to get done. I think I'll get there to another Galaxy Opal. Either Scotty Barnes or Evan Mobley, and we'll talk about the exchange. But the challenge today is only for an amethyst, which, being real, that's not what we were wanting. I was hoping for a pink diamond today. Maybe thought they would give us another Galaxy Opal. We still have 3 days. So, in the past, they've given a pretty good spread of amethysts and pink diamonds and diamonds. I'm thinking tomorrow will at least be a diamond. I do think they'll give us at least one more pink diamond challenge. Don't know if they're going to give us another, Galaxy Opal piece. I'll be honest. I'm not sure if they're going to get that generous. But today's in salary cap, and it's a very mode-specific challenge. You can stack other stats. You can use Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and salary cap and Cooper Flag. These are amethysts. So they'll go pretty well in the challenge because one of them is getting 40 points, assists, and rebounds with amethyst and lower players. And then conversely, the other one is getting 40 points, assists, and rebounds with diamond and up. And then one player just needs to score 20 points in a game, really pretty easy. And then just 3 wins in salary cap. So it's not just play 3 salary cap, it's 3 wins. So very doable, and we're going to dive into the mode of salary cap a little bit. And we talked about it yesterday. Hopefully this is a mode we play a little more of in the future. Before we do that though, let's take a look, 4 or 5 days left. So whatever your mode is that you're getting that mode completion piece, if you are doing that, try to lock it in. If I was going for Showdown, I would have quite a bit of work to do. I'm at 11 wins, really no chance I'll get to 75 by the end of the season. Luckily at All-Star Team Up, I am sitting at 99 wins. This has been kind of a staple mode for me the last couple seasons. Not sure if I will play it as much next season. It really depends on the rewards. I'm kind of getting more into these full lineup modes and Triple Threat Park. It's a bit more, well, they're both very interactive. All-Star Team Up is super interactive because you play technically with 9 other players. But we'll see. I'm getting into some different modes, but I do really like that mode and got my season exchange piece this season from it. And when the new season comes out, we'll start analyzing what's worth it, what's going to be fun, and go from there. So just patch up anything you're working on. We got a few days to do it. Even domination's great. I know some of the challenges yesterday were going to be good for domination, so you might still be working through these. Really a great way to do it. If you can just play some domination and get all the Winter Festival challenges done, that could be a real nice ending to your season just to ramp up for season 4. But for salary cap, let's talk about it because this is where we're going to get those challenges done. We reviewed you need to build a salary with specific build a lineup with specific salaries. You can come in here and really to see a player's salary, I actually recommend coming into this mode and editing your lineup here. If you go to your lineups management, and I can pull up that same lineup, it's the Sal lineup, it doesn't have their salaries. So for me to actually look for their salary, I gotta like open up the card and then you gotta go to salary cap history. And then it kind of shows down there at the bottom, and there it shows my team's total salary, but it doesn't even give me like a clean view of Rui Hachimura's specific salary. So a little wonky there. I recommend just coming down into salary cap and looking at your lineup here. So go ahead, pull up your lineup, go ahead and edit it, and if you don't already have one built out, build something with the really good Amethyst cards you have. Some of the best Amethyst rewards cards are like this Kalel Ware. Both of the new Amethysts from the Winter Festival are really good. I have one there. You know, this was a festival card from Chills, which was a festival in October. If you've been playing all year, you probably have some really good festival cards. It's funny, these festival cards are really, really good at salary cap. If you just started at Christmas, you may not have as many of the festival cards, but just go back to the 5 key principles, the 5 Ds of dodgeball. Patches O'Houlihan shout out again. Dunking, defense, and 3, along with size and speed. And you can see across my salary cap lineup, we have the same theme. Alex Caruso is big for the point guard position. This could be considered like a little small for the shooting guard, but he's just a really good card. If I was taking this lineup online today, I might switch a few things up and get a different shooting guard in there, and maybe he's my backup point guard. But you can see their salaries are really cheap. $1,200 for an Amethyst is a pretty good deal. You can see this Amethyst is actually $2,000. And some diamonds are only $2,000, but some diamonds are like $5,000. So a good way to just do a direct salary comparison is in the salary cap mode, in the lineup specific mode, pick up the player you're considering, and then start filtering by colors. So like I'll come here to the diamonds, and you can see there's quite a few diamonds at $5,000, but Billy Cunningham, he's one at $2,000. That's decent value. You know, a card like Fred VanVleet at $5,000, it's just not worth it, but maybe later in the year his salary goes down. These are constantly fluctuating. They will change a player's salary and they will change the overall team cap salary. They update it kind of sporadically. I wish it was a bit more on a system. But like, look at this Con Knuppel. That is a great diamond for $2,000. He was another festival card. So just come through and like use the cards you have. You know, sometimes I'll make a purchase specifically for salary cap. And when we talk about the auction house, we'll see, you know, hey, some of our trades are based on the fact that people will be out there buying cards specifically for salary cap. But build a fun lineup. I'm pretty happy with this one. I got a couple diamonds in to get those diamond stats. The rest is Amethyst. So I played one game. In this mode, you do have the choice between online or offline. So I actually played it in offline. I did do the hardest one. Earlier in the year, I played one on this difficulty, and it was actually a bit challenging. Don't know if I was just a bit groggy that day. This morning, it was really easy. I beat this team by like 20. Everything was going in. So you probably can play on the hardest mode. I got 87 points for an offline victory, and that was without a cap breaker or game changer thingy. I did it with an MT multiplier. I didn't do it double points, but you might want to use the double points because what you can do is play these 3 games in salary cap, stack as many Winter Festival challenges as possible, and in those 3 games, you can probably get at least 300 points. You know, I haven't played salary cap at all this year, or this season. I've been playing it in season 1 and season 2, but this season I had absolutely no points. But in my mind, I'm like, well, I'll get all the challenges done, I'll get my piece, and I should get at least 300 points. I probably won't get up to 500, but maybe. And that will get me a free feasting pack and a double up pack. So it's kind of worth it. I get 2 extra packs. I get to try out a new mode, get my salary cap lineup kind of ready because I've talked about how we may be playing salary cap next season anyway, and I can do it offline. Conversely, if you want to get online and have fun, this is one of my favorite modes to play. Maybe you're like, you know what, let's just try to do it online, a bit of a daily challenge. Make it fun for yourself. They give us these challenges, but it's up to us on how we execute them. And if you have more fun playing online, like make a little personal challenge for the day or tomorrow and just be like, I'm going to get 3 wins on salary cap online. It's very doable. I would say this mode isn't even as sweaty as Showdown or King of the Court. You can get some good, fun, casual games, and you're not going to see a bunch of Dr. J's or Wembanyama's. And if they are out there, like Wembanyama's salary is probably like 10K, so he'll be surrounded by a bunch of golds. To me, I like having a bench. Some people just run 5 good cards with no bench. I like to have, a serviceable bench. I have some of those, like these are 2 gold cards, Emerald and a gold. Kevin Garnett's salary is 500. Eddie House is 300. That's a cool little dynamic duo. This Cousins Clay, this is going to be a staple in salary cap probably all year long. They're really cheap. What is this combination? 800 for these 2 coming off the bench. So gives you a lot of fun opportunity just to build a cool, unique lineup, and you might run into some sweaty gameplay. But the God squads, I mean, technically looking at this squad, in my opinion, this is a borderline like salary cap God squad. Maybe I want to improve Porzingis for his speed and defense, but he's pretty good at this game in salary cap at least. So I think this is a borderline elite salary cap team. I would be very happy to take this online, but I'm chilling today. It's Monday. I'm taking care of these in offline. I will happily play 3 offline salary cap games, take my feast and base pack, and just move on from there. But it's cool. We talked about salary cap yesterday. Now we have a challenge for it. I may be looking a bit on the optimistic side in the sense that it is forcing us to play a new mode that we maybe won't be able to stack quite as much. And at the end of the day, it's just for an amethyst. So value your time. If there was one to skip, it could be this one because it's just an amethyst piece. If you're still catching up on other challenges, definitely prioritize the pink diamonds and some of the easier diamonds, not like the spotlights. Like this diamond spotlight is just, if you're behind on time, it's not worth it. But if you're ahead of the curve, go ahead and knock it out. And kind of same thing for the salary cap one. So in summary, continue grinding for your season exchange piece, about 4 days left. And yes, for the challenges, we get to play some salary cap. If we're going to be doing that today, it should be a lot of fun. And I definitely recommend you try to take care of that. While we're here, let's take a look at the King of the Court page. And congrats to Ty Debo, he got another W. So I'm having a little fun just monitoring this. I do like this mode. I'm still, advocating for more and more community engagement things from 2K. And this is the one we have now, so we might as well enjoy it. And you can see week 1, he wasn't able to win. Week 2, he took it down. Couple week break, this Jin guy is really good, and I think during these 2 weeks they actually matched up a couple times, and Jin beat Ty as far as I know. Not too familiar with Jin, but I do kind of know the name. But he hasn't won since, so I'm not sure what's up with Jin. And then you can see people like Defensive Guy, he won twice in 3 weeks, so he must have got hot. Swaggy Foams has won a couple times. But Ty's name is really the one that's been the most consistent. I mean, he won in week 2, week 5, and then back-to-back in 8 and 9. He won 3 out of 4. Really impressive there. But then it was a bit of a gap. He didn't win for 5 weeks in a row, and I know he was trying really hard. He did get it done this week, so congrats to Ty on that. He's starting to stack quite a bit of wins under his belt, which is really impressive. I mean, we played King of the Court. We did get safely into Tier 3 with just 3 games, so that was pretty cool. But this is a fun mode. We'll keep playing it depending on the rewards. It's again, we're grinders at our heart. So when the rewards are worth it, we will be there. They haven't announced them yet for next week. So let's see what they do. Hopefully they kind of boost the Tier 2, Tier 3 rewards. Maybe one week we're chasing Tier 2 if it's really worth it. For now, I've been pretty satisfied with being in Tier 3. So just something fun. Triple Threat Park was a lot of fun yesterday. Was able to get it done in the morning. It was a bit sweaty. Had a couple streaks snapped at like 3 and 4, but then got it done on the 3rd try. Shout out Kevin. He was my opponent in the last game. He was a really, really cool dude. Good conversation with him, and he is a new subscriber, so I told him I'd give him a little shout out in the video, and I do appreciate him. And so we had a good time. Then we hopped on later and we actually teamed up. We were live. We teamed up with someone from the chat. We helped them get their 5-game win streak, which was really cool. So keep an eye out for me on live. I'm really open to teaming up and either team up or park. Love to play with viewers. It's a lot of fun. And so we got his dark matter piece. So that was really cool. And that put us in a really good position in the exchange, which we can go right into. And as far as the exchange goes, we're, just a few days away. It says 6 days up at the timer, but they give you 3 extra days just to spend your pieces. But really, it's 3 days and 21 hours for us to be able to earn more pieces. We're sitting in a great spot. We're up to 4 Galaxy Opals. I got those, 2 of those from the dark matter piece that I got in Park. I broke it down. And then we're really close to another Galaxy Opal piece, which would be my 5th. I need 3 pink diamonds. We have 1 sitting in our pack market right now from King of the Court, and we will do a Big D Guru pack opening because I have a 92 plus piece there. And we'll do that in just a second. So technically, I just need 1 more pink diamond piece to get 1 more Galaxy Opal piece, which would be 5 Galaxy Opal pieces. I should definitely be able to get there just by, acquiring some diamonds and, with the challenges. So I'm confident I will have 5 Galaxy Opal pieces. And then the question becomes, do I go Barnes or Mobley, or do I even consider potentially using 1 on this, skipping Barnes and Mobley, and then just getting really, splurgy, maybe getting a 92 plus 'tis the season, though I really doubt I'll get a card better than Mobley or Barnes. Maybe get the Legend or the Hall of Fame badge pack, or maybe just open up this 'tis the season. It's going to be a tough call. Deep down, I know, getting 1 of these guys, they're such good cards, and getting 1 of these guys would probably be better, than 192 plus. But this dynamic duo, especially for salary cap, really has piqued my interest. So we'll have to see what I end up doing, but I should be in a really good spot to come in here and spend quite a bit of exchange pieces, of course. We're not talking about money or MT. And so what I recommend, just start eyeing up, like, what are you going for? I'm seeing people on Reddit, they're making that final push for Scotty Barnes or Ray. Just try to map it out. We only got the Amethyst today. Hopefully we get, a couple better rewards. But if you do fall short just by a little bit on the Scotty Barnes or something, just get your value, do the dynamic duo, do the Hall of Fame badge pack, prioritize those type of things. If you want to try to get lucky on these 90 plus or 92 pluses, realistically, you're going to get just a diamond out of this. Don't expect a pink diamond. So just, use them as wisely as you can. But at the end of the day, this is a W. Either way, you should have got Koulibaly and Kamara and Jabari Smith. So even if you don't get everything you want, just do your best to get, as much as you can and use your pieces as wisely as you can. And you got about 3 days to do it. In my opinion, this has been a great festival. I, really upgraded the team, and I think a lot of you guys did. So that's the good news. We're in a really good position for season 4, which is just right around the corner. Now let's go ahead and pop over to the pack market, and they did release some new season 3 super packs. They typically will release super packs on the last Monday of the season. So this is nothing new. It looks like all 3 of these tabs. One's NBA only, one's a mix, and one is WNBA only. You know how I feel. For the most part, I'm never shopping in here. I'm not going to buy any of these. I really don't recommend you do either. If you're sitting on a bunch of VC from Park or My Career, or maybe you've been stacking it from the Pro Pass, you could consider, opening 1 or 2 of these, getting 450,000. That is doable in My Career. And if you have it, this could be a decent way to spend it. Some of these toppers look kind of interesting, and these are all unsellable. This topper is unauctionable, but it's actually a dark matter guaranteed. This one's like a 95 plus, so it's probably going to be a pink diamond. But what this really means for us is what I'm thinking about is what more cards are coming in circulation. And essentially, they're kind of re-releasing all of the sets throughout the entire season. It's a ton of cards, so don't expect like huge volume drops or huge volume jumps in every single card by any means. But it's definitely a good day to keep an eye on cards that we've already been keeping an eye on. Like this Ace Bailey, there's going to be a few more of those in circulation. People come in here and rip packs. They only pull the diamond. They thought they were going to get a pink diamond or something good. So they just list the Ace Bailey really quick. They're trying to stack up more MT just so they can probably go spend it on packs. It's kind of a vicious cycle, and I recommend avoiding it. But as a grinder, we can still be aware of it. and just be like, okay, so some new cards are coming in circulation. People might be kind of quick listing, just hoping to get quick flips. So they're going to have to list it for low. So I'm just taking a mental note of all these cards. You know, some of them are kind of meta, like even this Peja, people are using them a little bit for sure. Korver, you know, the ones that are still really high up on bid, like Zach Levine, invest a little bit more with caution, just because bids are so volatile, and a good deal today might be a bad deal tomorrow with some of these cards where the buy now prices are a little bit more steady, but still there's opportunity, you know, out there, just because there is some cards coming back into circulation. So keep that in mind. And then while we're here, let's do a quick Big D Guru pack opening. We got a 92 plus. What did we get? Oh my gosh. W's in the chat. Michael Carter Williams, hidden gem. Really good for two reasons. One, that's just a good meta card. And then two, he's a hidden gem. And so he should be coming out really soon, because most of the hidden gems are cards that will be turned into, you know, eventually on a new set, they become that set essentially. And so when the challenge is, hey, you need to get a certain number of stats with jumpstart players, he will be applicable for one of those future sets. So I won't have to go and buy a card from that set. Instead, I'll be able to do it with Michael Carter Williams. And I'm pretty sure that's the case for all of these diamond hidden gems. Eventually, they will be released in a set. I know they're a little confusing. I think everyone's still a little confused on like what exactly is a hidden gem. But from what I understand, anything amethyst and above, they maybe not even all the amethysts, but diamond and above, they will be released in future sets. These rubies, I think, are just the 10 rubies, and maybe they keep like 10 in each tier. Comment down below if you know more than I do. So maybe just 2 of these guys will eventually be released in a set, and they'll just keep 10 as hidden gems for the whole year. We'll have to see. Either way, this card is kind of a W. 6'6" at the point guard position. He can shoot. I know his jump shot's not necessarily the best, but 85 dunk, great, you know, for a point guard at least. 95 pass accuracy. If y'all have seen me play with my Magic Johnson, specifically on All-Star Team Up, I love high pass accuracy. I love just stacking up assists. It's my favorite role to play. And he's got pretty good athleticism. Defense gives a little bit of room to be desired, but 88 is not bad. What's that agility? 88. Pretty good card. Pretty good card. Might have to add some badges. Definitely a W. And he could be a great example. Like later in the year, we'll see what his salary does, but his salary is at 2,000. So like this is probably my starting point guard in salary cap now. A 2,000 salary Michael Carter Williams. Huge W. So that's kind of cool. I actually really like that. Hey, Big D Guru pack opening. Things are happening here, guys. But let's dive into the auction house. It's another great day. You know, I've been honing in on kind of my, you know, pretty simple meta strategy. You could say I'm taking it a little easy, and I recommend, you know, end of season, it can be a bit volatile. So of course, I'm still holding on to a ton of wild gems. We're crossing our fingers, hoping for a new wild gem exchange. But what I'm focusing on daily is flipping some dynamic duos and these meta cards. Like Marcus Smart's a really easy, cheap one to make a little MT on. And there's, you know, there's different levels. Like depending on what your MT count is, you can make a good living off of just flipping amethyst cards. Come in here, Marcus Smart, see what he's selling for. Like this one's a weird one because for a while he was at like 40, 50K. But he's really gone down closer to 10. That 7,500 will sell for sure. I've been selling these around like 9, 10, and 11. You can see besides that 7,500 one, which I would buy, but it's just not quite enough profit. I'll just let someone else buy that. But you can see besides that, they're really closer to 12, 15. And there's also only 5 in circulation. So I already got a bid on this one. You guys should probably have plenty of time after watching this video. He'll probably still be live. He's got 12 hours left. That's why I don't always bid on cards with so much time left. It's ideally a little better just to do it when they're getting a little closer to their ending. But again, get comfortable in a couple things. One, search through your collections, go back on those past sets, find the cards that you're familiar with. Like I've been using a few just because I've played against them or even used them myself, and I'm like, hey, I know these are good cards. Ace Bailey, Buzelas, but there's a ton of them, and you can tier up and say, hey, I actually really understand this Zach Levine market. I understand ones that go with a little extra badges. I understand the base one. And just kind of move and groove and be aware of the cyclical. You know, hey, there's a couple the super packs are out today. A new season's coming. Those will impact the market, but they're not going to impact day trades too much. So if you can buy something today and make a quick flip, that's definitely a good call. Another card I've been eyeing is this Okongwu. Like I used him a lot. I've seen him be used. his price has been really steady for us. He dipped a little bit closer to 40 for a while. Now he's really selling consistently around 60. I know if there's one in here on bid, I can try to sneak it for around 45 to 50 and make good profit. I'm not investing outside of my comfort range. I'm not investing outside of my budget. And you can tier this up. There's a ton of money to be made on Amethyst. People made over 100K just flipping cockburners. And then once you have 100K, start finding diamonds to flip. And you can do the cyclical with the jump start. You know, we know these amethysts are going to be getting cheaper and cheaper up until Friday, just like this one yesterday. We really didn't see too many at 75. Now 75 is not even selling. This card will get lower and lower, and eventually we may try to buy 10 around like 3,000 to 4,000 and then just try to flip at 6,000 to 7,000. It can be that simple. And another thing I want to show today is just tier hunting. And you can do this really easily. Like, come in here and pick a color. I'm going to pick diamond, and I'm going to break it down a little bit. I'll just go Western Conference. I want to break it up by, I don't want too many cards in my filter. But what are the cheapest diamond Western Conference? Like bare minimum, here it is right now. I just found it. 17,000. And that one's not quite selling. So I would really say like 16,000 will sell guaranteed. If I list a Western Conference diamond at 16,000, it will pretty much guaranteed sell. Now I will go over to maximum bid and I'll just put it pretty low. I want some room to bid. So I have all the Western Conference diamonds that have a 9,000 or less bid. And it's a decent number of cards. And what I'll do is pretty much every card that's 4 hours or below, I'm going to come and bid on. I'll bid on every single one of them. And I will bid, even if, this Gallinari might go for a little bit more, doesn't matter. I'm not even going to take too much time and do a ton of research. I know for a fact I sell at 16,000. I'll minus about 2,000 for tax. So if I can win any one of these at 14,000, it's pretty much guaranteed profit. And the hope is you win at least a few for less than 14,000, so you get even more profit. And then on top of that, the hope is you maybe snipe one or two on bid that's worth a little bit more than 16,000. That 16,000 is the absolute base. Like this Malik Monk, you could probably get 19 or 20,000. I do see it's listed at 25 and not selling, so you're not going to get too much more. But if I'm bidding 14,000, I got a lot of room for profit. So you can come in here and bid on every single one of these, do a similar filter, find the lowest absolute buyout price, then figure out a nice, good maximum bid, which gives you a little cushion of profit, and then just find a good way to kind of filter out some of the noise. I don't want too many cards. Eastern's a little different. This Podol card is going really cheap. It's because he was just in a set. Same with Jared Allen. So be aware of anomalies. This card really only sells for like 15. So I'm going to bid a little bit lower. I'll probably only bid like 12 on any Jacob Podol. And same with Jared Allen. But any other Eastern Conference diamond, like specifically this Keontae George, I was selling him in the 20s, but he's gone down a little bit. But I know he's a pretty good value. So I'll bid at 14 on him quite happily. And I'll do this just for anything that's, 4 hours or less. Don't bid on something that's going to end in 20 hours. It ties up your MT, and realistically, there's just too much opportunity for other people to come in and start bidding. The best bids are like 3 hours and below. So come in here, it could take you 5-10 minutes, and you'd be surprised what you end up winning. As soon as you win them, just come in here. If you got to wait the 30 minutes of the gulag, and then just flip them again. And you can see we got a Derek Queen selling at 34, buying all these Derek Queens in the 20s on that same bid method. I just pull up Derek Queen, and I know he sells at 34. So if there's anything, that has value, right now there's not. He's really rare, and that's great news for me because guess what? I stockpiled like 3 or 4 of them, and now I know there's only one on the market for 40K, and so my 36 is technically the cheapest Derek Queen right now. And it can happen that fast. There was 2 days ago, there was 15 Derek Queens up, and a lot of them were listed at 25. And just 2 days later, the scarcity has driven his price up. And that's why we do love those dynamic duos. So a couple different options for you today. And I know we review them a lot, but it's just good for the channel. You have your meta cards from past seasons. You also just have, looking through the auction house and working a couple filters on color and conference and understanding the lowest maximum buyout, and then leveraging bids to get things even cheaper than that buyout. And then we have, fun cards that we think will hold their value, either some meta cards or these dynamic duos, which we know people will want to use all year long. With that, I hope you all have a great day. Just keep grinding the game. There's, a bit of challenges out. Do as much as you can. Try to get as much out of the Winter Festival as you can. If you're pushing for a few last season levels, understand what's actually worth it. Like if you can get up to this Option Hall of Fame badge, that's great. But if you're stuck here and you just can't get to that 38, like that's okay. It's just 10,000 MT. Don't burn yourself out. Season 4 is coming. There's going to be so many new good cards. It's always fun to take a screenshot of your season of your lineup at the beginning of a season and then take a screenshot of your lineup at the end. We didn't do it this season. I would love to see what my lineup looked like at the beginning of the year. Our season, people like Bosch, they've really been there all season long. And even I think Aiton as well, but then the rest, Old Faithful's still here, but the rest is kind of some new blood. We got Ja this season, Elgin this season, Peja, Jabari, Tom, Ray. This guy's auctionable, but he's still great and fun. Even cards like Kamara. So the team's completely transformed in just one season, and yours will too. Season 4 is very close, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Tap into the channel. This will be a great place just to stay on top of things between what I'm putting out daily and some of the comments we're getting. We really should have some of the best, most up-to-date information on what to prioritize. With that, y'all have a great day. Much love and peace.